What if I told you that the most protein-dense plant on Earth is probably growing in a pond within 5 miles of your house right now, and nobody told you, not your doctor, not your nutritionist, not your grocery store, because if you knew, you'd never need to buy protein powder again. Today, I'm going to show you something that NASA discovered decades ago, that indigenous communities in Thailand have known for centuries, and that the American food industry has done everything in its power to keep off your radar. By the end of this video, I'll show you the exact 5-minute setup that turns any container in your backyard into a protein factory. But first, you need to understand why this was hidden from you in the first place. Let's go back to northern Thailand. Early morning, a grandmother walks to a nearby pond. She skims the surface with her hands, takes home a small green film that most Americans would mistake for algae or pond scum. She fries it in eggs, stirs it into soup. Her grandchildren eat it for breakfast. No grocery store, no protein powder, no supply chain, just water, and a plant that doubled overnight. They call it Kai Nam. It means eggs of the water, and that name is more accurate than anyone in Western agriculture wants to admit. In 1966, NASA started testing food candidates for long-duration space travel. They tested wheat, potatoes, soybeans, lettuce. One plant beat everything. A plant so small you could fit dozens of them on your fingernail. It grew faster than anything modern agriculture had ever seen. It produced more protein per square foot than any crop on record. NASA selected it for space stations. They grew it on the Mir space station. They tested it in closed biological systems where nothing comes in from the outside. And a 2024 research paper confirmed just 600 grams of fresh duckweed meets an adult astronaut's complete daily protein requirement. Wait. Read that again. 600 grams full day of protein, one plant growing in water. Now let me show you the numbers, because these numbers break the entire foundation of industrial agriculture as we know it. Researchers Einroth and colleagues published in Food Chemistry in 2017. Duckweed protein content, 20 to 45% dry weight. Now compare that. Beef, 26% protein. Eggs, around 13%. Soybeans, 36% on a good day. And a 2024 paper in the Journal of Agricultural and Food Chemistry found that one species called Lemna gibba hit 45% crude protein. Let that land. A plant floating on still water outperforms beef in protein density and the amino acid profile complete. Every essential amino acid present, meeting or exceeding World Health Organization requirements for human nutrition. But protein content is only half the story. The real jaw-dropper is growth speed. Current Biology published a paper in 2023. They measured duckweed under favorable conditions. The result: duckweed doubles its biomass every 48 to 72 hours. Ziegler and colleagues in Scientific Reports 2025 measured doubling times as fast as 1.34 days. Some species under ideal conditions, 16 hours. Now compare, soybeans need a minimum of 90 days. Beef cattle need 18 months to reach slaughter weight. This plant could double before you finish watching this video. Now let's talk land use. A 2024 Science Direct paper compiled data across multiple studies. Duckweed yields 2,080 kilograms of protein per hectare per year. Soybeans yield 303 kilograms per hectare per year. Corn yields 179 kilograms per hectare per year. That is not a rounding error. Duckweed produces nearly 7 times more protein per unit of land than soy, and 10 times more than corn under optimal greenhouse conditions. Duckweed yields 10 to 18 tons of protein per hectare per year. Soybeans in the same region produce 0.6 to 1.2 tons. One researcher put it simply: the surface of a small pond can outproduce an entire soybean field. And the environmental numbers? They destroy every argument for industrial meat production. Duckweed produces 0.4 kilograms of CO2 equivalent per kilogram of plant material. Beef produces 27 kilograms of CO2 equivalent per kilogram of meat. That is nearly 70 times the environmental impact. 70 times. No tractors, no pesticides, no competing for cropland. Duckweed grows on water that would otherwise sit there doing absolutely nothing. So here's the question you're probably already asking: if this plant is so powerful, why doesn't every American know about it? 3 reasons, and they all connect. Reason 1, it looks like pond scum. Western agriculture values appearance. A cornfield looks impressive. A soybean operation has scale. A plant you need a magnifying glass to appreciate doesn't photograph well for farm subsidies. Nobody brags about their floating green carpet the way they brag about their tomato harvest. Reason 2, you can't patent it. Duckweed reproduces by splitting itself in half. No seed company profits from that. No equipment manufacturer sells specialized duckweed tractors. No processing facility stands between you and your food. Every single middleman that industrial agriculture depends on loses money the moment you grow protein in a bucket. Reason 3, the industrial food system runs on complexity, long supply chains, storage infrastructure, processing facilities, distribution networks. A plant that grows itself in any container you own threatens the entire model, so the model ignored it, underfunded it, let it float unnoticed in ponds next to major American universities. But in Thailand, this knowledge never disappeared. Families harvested it for generations, served it fresh in omelets, stirred it into soup, fed it to children. Dr. Wayne Armstrong at California State University spent decades documenting every duckweed species on Earth. He found Wolffia globosa, the same species Thai grandmothers harvest, growing wild within miles of major American universities. Hidden in plain sight, floating unnoticed, in American ponds. Then space changed everything. The Translational Research Institute for Space Health partnered with University of Colorado Boulder. Their finding published in 2020, duckweed is the most protein-dense plant on the planet. It produces antioxidants called zeaxanthin and lutein that fight radiation damage. It thrives under artificial light at half the intensity of normal sunlight. The first space test happened in 1966, before most Americans had ever heard the word superfood, before protein powder became a billion-dollar industry. NASA already knew, they just didn't tell your grocery store. Now here's what you've been waiting for, the 5-minute setup. Step 1, pick your container. Anything that holds water works. A 5-gallon bucket, a plastic storage bin from Walmart, a kiddie pool for larger production, a glass baking dish on a windowsill if you're just starting out. One rule, go shallow and wide, not deep and narrow. 3 inches of water depth is plenty. More surface area equals more protein. Step 2, prepare your water. Dechlorinated tap water works fine. Rainwater is even better if you're using tap water. Just let it sit overnight in an open container. The chlorine evaporates on its own. Keep the pH between 6 and 7.5. Most American tap water is already there. Step 3, add nutrients. Best option, fish tank water, no fish tank. Dilute any balanced liquid fertilizer to 1/5 the strength on the label, or a few drops of aquarium plant food weekly. Even a single decaying leaf gives enough nutrients to get started. Step 4, get your duckweed. Check local ponds, order online, or ask someone with an aquarium. They will literally give it away for free. Start with 1 tablespoon, float it on the surface. Aim for 10 to 20% coverage to start. Step 5, find the right spot. Bright indirect light. Minimum 6 hours a day. Keep temperatures between 60 and 90 degrees Fahrenheit. Most American homes are already in that range. Walk away, come back in 48 hours. You will see double the coverage with your own eyes the first time it happens. You won't believe it by day 5. Skim half the surface with a net or strainer. Leave the other half growing, rinse it, dry it. Use it fresh in salads, smoothies, eggs, or dry it completely and blend into powder. You now have homegrown protein, made in your backyard for almost nothing. One critical warning. Never dump duckweed into natural waterways. It can become invasive. Compost any excess. Feed it to chickens or fish. Tilapia farmers cut feed costs 50% with duckweed. Backyard chicken keepers saw deeper orange egg yolks within weeks, and the commercial world is catching on. Parable USA sells it as lentine. Hinaman in Israel sells it as mankai. The same plant free in your local pond now sells at premium prices in health stores nationwide. Here is what I want you to take away. Protein independence does not require wealth. It does not require acreage. It does not require anyone's permission. The solution was floating on every neglected pond and forgotten drainage ditch all along. The Thai grandmother knew. NASA scientists knew, and now, you know, if you found this valuable, hit subscribe and turn on notifications because next video, I'm going to show you something that makes this look small. See you in the next one.